Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I am Mel, and I am so excited about this video today because, first of all, I am obsessed with the mind and how it works, and I really want to share how the brain controls our habits. So, if you have a bad habit that you have really been struggling with, if you are wondering why you have bad habits that you tried to get rid of but you really struggle with it, if you wonder what causes those bad habits, and if you just want to know about whether or not those bad habits can be controlled, then this is the video for you. So, how the brain controls our habits, those negative coping mechanisms like smoking weed, drinking, shopping, talking about people, waking up late, overthinking, or constantly thinking negative thoughts about yourself, about your situation, negative self-talk, criticizing yourself, criticizing other people. All those things are habits. They are habits, and they are controlled by our brains. So your mind has a conscious part and an unconscious part to it. So your unconscious mind is what is responsible for your habits. Your unconscious mind is what's responsible for your habits, and this is the part of your mind that makes you automatically revert to those habits when you are trying to get out of them, when you're trying to break free from them, and when you're struggling with them. It's because of your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind, it stores all your memories, all your behaviors, your patterns, your thought patterns, your habits. All of those are formed in your unconscious mind. The more you live your life, the more you experience different things, the more you develop certain habits that get stuck in your unconscious mind. So if you have a habit of stress eating, if you have a habit of snacking when you're stressed to kind of soothe yourself, any habits that you have are formed in your unconscious mind. So when you are really interested in breaking a habit that you've held on to for so long, you struggle with this and you get overwhelmed, you get stressed out, you get anxious about this because you are so used to this habit and your mind is so comfortable with the habit that you currently have. Your mind absolutely loves what is familiar and it does not like what is unfamiliar. So if you found that you do have a habit and you consciously, so I mentioned you have the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. So if you consciously try to work on changing a habit, and you try to use willpower, you try to force yourself to change, or you try to fake it till you make it. When you do those things and you consciously try to fix a habit, you'll notice that you'll be doing really well for some period of time, and then you'll fall right back into those old habits again. Because your mind is going to go back to what is familiar. Because it's way easier for your mind to just go with what's familiar and what it knows than it is for it to go in uncharted territory, than it is for it to embrace anything that's unfamiliar to you. So that's why when you do try to change habits and you try to get out your comfort zone, you try to make changes, your mind always will revert back to those old habits that you're comfortable with, even if these habits are ruining your health, even if these habits destroy your mental and your physical health, even if these habits have a negative effect on your quality of life, you will still go back to those habits. It becomes really hard for you to change those habits when you try to only use your conscious mind to change those habits. So when you try to, like I said, force yourself or fake it till you make it and all that, then your brain is going to want to go back to what is familiar. It's not going to want to change. It's not going to want to put itself in this unpredictable, unfamiliar situation, even if this is the best situation for you, even if the situation is beneficial to your health and it will make your life better in the long run. So yes, your habits absolutely can be controlled, but it's all about getting your unconscious mind on the same page as your conscious mind, because if you don't get those two on the same page, they will be constantly playing tug of war with your life, and then you'll keep struggling with this. You'll keep struggling with controlling your habits. You'll keep struggling with changing your habits, and you'll keep falling right back into those negative old patterns, those negative old habits, those negative old behaviors that you're so used to. So only when you get your conscious mind on the same page as your unconscious mind can you really enjoy your life. You really improve the quality of your life. And this is when you can start to really figure out what it means to enjoy your life. Because as long as you continue to try to force yourself to change, or you continue to try to break bad habits by only using that unconscious part of your mind, the more you're going to be let down, the more you're going to be frustrated with yourself when you cannot seem to overcome those habits. So if you are interested in learning how to break free of those bad habits permanently, and if you're interested in figuring out what the easiest way is to change your bad habits, I will be uploading a video about this for you to check out. And yeah, your brain really goes back and forth when it comes to a habit that you are so used to and that you feel stuck in, because it loves what is familiar. So as long as waking up late, overthinking, negative self-talk, criticizing yourself and other people, as long as shopping addiction, smoking, drinking, as long as all of those things are familiar to you and you continue to do those habits, the more your unconscious mind is going to give you more and more of this stuff. The more you're going to automatically resort to those habits and those negative coping mechanisms, even though you're trying to make yourself change. So if you want to stop struggling with this, if you want it to stop being a struggle, like I said, the key is really to get your unconscious mind on the same page as your conscious mind. But your unconscious mind has a huge effect on your bad habits. It has a huge effect on your habits. It has a huge effect on your patterns, your behaviors, and all those things. So yes, you have to really be mindful. If you do want to change, this is what it takes. This is the secret. This is the key. And this is exactly what I teach my clients to do, because let's be real, when you try to change on your own, or you try to break out of a bad habit or a negative habit that you know is ruining your life in the long run, you can't get out on your own. It's like it's a wall in front of you that you're stuck behind, and the version of you, that healthy version of you, is on the other side of the wall, but you don't know how to break through that wall. You might find ways to kind of see through slightly, like to get a glimpse of what's on the other side of that wall, but you're unable to break through that wall because of your unconscious mind, and because it's so familiar with the bad habits that you're doing on the other side of the wall. It's so familiar with the habits that you're stuck in. So as long as you are stuck in those habits, and as long as you keep trying to force yourself out of those habits, it'll really be harder for you to fix if you continue to do it this way. So like I said, I got a video all about the easiest way to break out of these bad habits. You might have heard that it takes 66 days to break a habit, or 21 days to break a habit. It's all BS. It's all made up. It does not take each individual person the same amount of time to break a habit. That might be common, but when you let in this belief, this is stopping you from really making the changes you need to take. This is making you put a timeline on how long it takes for you to change. And then you're like, oh, I got to do this for 21 days. I got to do this for 66 days. And you're just so focused on the time without really focusing on the habits that need to be changed. So if you do really struggle with a bad habit and you want to be able to break out of that habit, this is really the secret to doing that. This is what is in your way. This is why it's so hard for you to break those bad habits. This is why you resort to negative coping mechanisms. This is why you continue to do things that cause you pain and suffering, and that decrease your health and your life expectancy, even though you know it's bad for you. This is why you continue to participate in those bad habits. This is why you stay stuck in those habits. And this is why it is so difficult for you to overcome those habits. So that's all I got for you in this video. If you have made it this far, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you got any questions for me, any comments about your personal experience, as always, leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to chat with you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.